Yeah, it is. Mixed emotions, mixed feelings, kind of envious. Like you're starting, you're kind of happy about it, but also like she's kind of always been here. And, that little fact that she's not going to be just roaming around the house, stuff like that's going to be kind of weird, but pretty excited about it. University of Tennessee, Martin. It's about 2.5 hours west in Northwest Tennessee. I've been wearing that for a pretty good while now. That in my hat. Uh, Let me take the view app out here. All right. So I'm wondering if we recover a little bit more back into this Monday range today. I wonder if we continue to kind of make this a little bit of a higher move today because of the large down move from yesterday. The ES did finally get into that. I say finally, did reach that monthly fair value gap, kind of immediate rejection out of it. Starting to grind higher. It's not like a quick push away. So I'm not really thinking or not really convinced that we're going to, come all the way back up in here and stuff. The Monday range for the ES, that's right up in here. So, but if you notice that structure line, go to 4 hour chart for you. Actually, let's go to the daily. Weekly. Weekly, where is that? There. So the high of this candle is 44.09. The low of this candle so far is 44.09.50. So to me, this is a pretty good little spot for this to be the low and us to just kind of grind away from it. So I think it's going to be I mean, it just seems like it should be somewhat of a bullish day overall. Drop into an hourly. So this is where we were yesterday morning. We kind of popped up and we started to drop here. And we tried to make a little false move back up into it before we just sold off. I didn't really see kind of a little a silver bullet around 10. Actually, on the NQ, I think it was a loss, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. Actually, that's the 3 minute. Let's move this up. This is the 5 minute. It was like a super small fair value gap between these two right here. So it was a nice push into it. And don't get me wrong, you could have easily. Oh, did you get a winner off of it yesterday? Between the 10 and 11. Oh, so see you went to the this one. So this is the 10 o'clock candle. This would have been the first fair value gap, which would have been a loss. But yeah, this fair value gap actually was a winner because it was really close. And yeah, and then slammed down. That's right. I remember. I remember kind of seeing that because I even commented on it, posted it. But yeah, so it would have been a yeah. This second one would have been a winner. This little bitty one right here um, would have been promising, and then promising again. I mean, more than likely, you're probably taking a partial right here on the Nasdaq and getting stop out of break even. You know, if you're playing it smart, so more than likely it's not a loss. You know, if you sit it and forget it, you're going to end up taking a stop on it. But in the same way with this one, you know, I remember you. I remember the post on that now. Yeah, but if you also go to the 3 minute chart, there's another one right here at this 10 o'clock area, in which would have given you kind of a a little bit better risk reward out of it. So you would have gotten similar points, you know, but not the 2 to 1. But yeah, that fair value gap that you got into, yeah, yeah. So and that's just like taking it and you know you trade it the way you want to trade it, however you want to use the strategy. That's how you trade it. Oh, oh, I thought I moved. Thanks. So yeah, and I again did not, because this happened so early in the fair value in the uh, near the 10 o'clock. I had class, so I was not able to trade any of it. So, which I probably would have taken a loss right there if I had have gotten into it, because I'm not able to manage these trades. Two, if I'm in this one, I'm probably not in that one. So yeah, it just depends on it's kind of funny. It's kind of the tale of two tapes, right? But also my bias on the day would have been short. So I don't know if it would have been tough to take a long right there, because this is where I thought price was going to be down to anyways during the day. So that would have been just robotic, and I don't know if I would have taken the trade anyways. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, if you're waiting on something to match your bias, then yeah, absolutely, that would have been the trade. And I mean, price did pretty much what we thought it was going to do. We had this liquidity here. I didn't really think it was coming all the way down to this area, but I did think Monday low was going to be hit. We did have a little bounce out of the Monday low, but then just snapped lower right there at the end of the day. Went all the way down, all the way through that mean threshold, and then just got to this area. And this bounce was, I guess, the bounce from the ES just followed it, right? Because this was that next structure line getting close to this channel. So, and I mean, technically, we're still inside that channel, grinding our way further down. So we go to a daily chart on it. Yeah. So this mean threshold is the next eye. That's where I would look to see price drop down into. We've got nice liquidity below it with inefficiency, and then also some more structure right there on the NQ. That's pretty good. if we continue to grind down. I don't think we make it down this far. I don't even have. I don't have my Forex factory up. Unemployment claims. Yeah, I knew the loot news was light today. Tomorrow is non-existent, and then next week I think the news we talked about it yesterday, Wednesday PMI. Like the rest of it is just not all that exciting. ESPN between 2 and 3. Yeah, that was that last drop. Yeah, into so yeah, so the between 2 and 3. Again, I don't know how. Yeah, there you go. There's your first fair value gap. Is the 2 o'clock, but you technically, I mean, it just it really depends on how you trade it, man. It just depends on how you trade it. Like you go by strict rules, then you're probably stopped out somewhere in there. If you're not in the initial move, for that, then and you're looking to go short, it just there's a good entry right there. It's really just determined on how you read price, and if you realize that it's going to grab some more liquidity or something, because if you jump in on the 3 minute chart there and look at it, took out some liquidity here and then there. And I think that goes all the way back to this fair value gap right there between 11 and 12 structure. Yeah, with this little break here and then that pop back up into that fair value gap, that could be a good entry before 3 o'clock. And then if you're waiting between 3 and 4, I don't know if you get the fair value gap you needed. Yeah, not on 3. I don't know. It just depends on how strict you are with the type of rules you're using. If you're using rules, or if you're just looking for that right fair value gap that feels good to you within those hours, within that time frame. Because looking at it right here, I know I'm on the 5 minute chart, but you got that the 2 o'clock fair value gap, but the way this candle dropped into here, and then immediately rejected out. Just, I mean, this bearish candle right here is what I'm talking about. I would have been hesitant to enter. And then when this candle comes in, I'm probably, yeah, I'm glad I was being patient, right? Takes out highs again. We start working down. And then it becomes, do you wait for this break or do you look for structure consolidation in which you can get your confirmation breakdown and just jump in? You got a 3-minute chart in that section. Yeah, the way we get the breakdown here, but the way this unfolds just drops into those stops, I would have been very reluctant to have taken a short right in there. But then you get this structure here and the breakdown below it. Could have entered here, could have decided to enter there. There you go. There's that pretty good little spot to enter there. Yeah, this would have killed you. But I don't know if I would have entered just based off just because of the way price action's right there. Yeah. Yeah. So the overall yesterday, Toshie, we kind of had an idea that it was probably going to break down. Um, Yesterday morning's setups, we had this nice consolidation here. London took out the Asia highs and then started to roll back over. Um, I think we were, this is where we were in the live room yesterday. And I think we even talked about it maybe popping back up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at this structure right here and thinking, yeah, I was right. But the overall bias for the day was we're going to come and get that liquidity and make our way down. And eventually this week, I thought we'd get down in here, which is a monthly fair value gap, this yellow. And that's where we went to yesterday. So that's one of those things. If it were retesting and then going higher and continues to go higher, then it's more than likely going to be a no trade, right? For some of us. But then when we start getting this breakdown again, right here, we could have been patient enough and got in right there. That guy. And caught a pretty good move down. I mean, out of this entire move from here to here was at 20 points. So that would have been an easy 5 somewhere in there. And then look at the breakdown at that bottom of this candle. This just slams right through it. But the bias on the day yesterday was at least what we kind of thought. Yeah, was bearish. So he'd gotten down below the Monday range, below that sell side right here. And we consolidated, we had just a little bit of a pop up early in the morning during the London hour. And then this is what we had anticipated yesterday, what we talked about in the live room. We kind of got it. This little structure line And this fair value now, I mean, you can see this is a pretty big gap, um, pretty big inefficiency. So, you know, price, we could see it continue to drop into it or, work its way in, pop back out, work its way a little bit lower, pop back out, and then maybe eventually go higher. But I'm not convinced of a bull run until we get into this liquidity here. Quadrants. No. Are you talking like you have a when it comes in, this is quadrant one. As it drops down, you can take an entry right here, quadrant two, maybe, as it breaks up three and then four. Is that what you mean by that? Oh yeah. No, I don't. For one, this is a huge fair value gap, I guess. I don't know. I'm not necessarily. I don't think I would actually be playing the fair value gap in general. Just the fact that price, this is just going to be a good area for price to be bouncing, but I'm not bullish. I'm not bullish until we start breaking structure, right? And then I'll start thinking about going above it. Not to say I won't take bullish trades. I'm just overall, I don't think we're going up until we get into this liquidity up here. Um, Don Fron show, he trades that way. He has a where he'll put zones in, and he has three zones in which he trades from. So when price, he has an aggressive one where he's like, I think price is just going to touch and go, so he don't want to miss it. So he gets in zone one, and then he has a zone two where he waits for price to get all the way to the bottom of the zone, and then zone three is his super conservative zone where he's waited for confirmation, of the breakdown. So he potentially one has three trades that he could possibly get in on one area. And it just depends on how, you know, he feels price is reacting within that zone. So, but it's pretty good. I mean, obviously it works for him. Um, but he's like a supply and demand zone type of trader. It does align with liquidity. Um, just because, like I said, he's playing like so. You see my structure lines, right? He will not play just these little lines. He'll put an entire box on this wick, and that's what he'll play. So this will be an entire zone for him. Now that's not saying that's his entire strategy by any means. I'm just saying like I've watched him enough to know that he doesn't play lines. He's not that precise. He plays these zones. And I mean, I don't play precisely these lines. Like I'm not jumping in as soon as it gets to that line and bounces. I wait for price action and the movement of the candles to tell me, okay, this is going to happen. So I miss these bounces like this, which is fine with me. And same way, and that's the same way with him. But yeah, he'll play these like wicks as zones. And sometimes it's not wicks, sometimes it'll be just like these candles and stuff. And it's not necessarily like order blocks or anything. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. Yeah, it's not necessarily order blocks or anything. I think he's more supply and demand. He sees areas in which price has gotten to previously, And those are the areas. So like this will catch his eye, and then he'll move right, and he'll say, okay, we got some more structure here. But then this entire wick will he'll play it based on the structure to the break. So it gives him multiple chances to enter and exit trades, because he'll also play those zones as exits as well. And he'll have where he'll get out portions of his trades at zone 1, 2, and 3 or whatever. But he mainly trades like well, I hadn't watched him in a long time, but I know he trades like Tesla. He trades stocks doing it, SPY and Qs. But I know he's done Forex and futures as well. So he's a pretty good guy to watch. Good YouTube, pretty good YouTube channel. So even judging by the dollar here, as you can see the dollar breaking down, this is exactly what it looked like yesterday, right? On the ES and the NQ. And we had this move down, we consolidated, and we popped up and then broke down below it. So we've come into this area where we're getting this liquidity. And the fact that we're really not, we break down through that structure and do not respect it, which it doesn't look like we're going to, then channel, here we come. And I think that's the median. So I think the dollar continues to break down. Now, again, you got unemployment claims and Philly manufacturing index at 8:30 this morning. So, that could give it a little bit of a pop, but I don't think it's going to change its direction. So around news, if you are long biased in the market, you might want to mitigate risk or take off trades. And then after news, I think we're going to continue in the same direction that it has been going. So, if you look at the daily chart too, you can see that. Oh, let me put that back. Actually, we can take that off. You can see that price has gotten into liquidity here, right? We've swept it. It went just above this. Let me show you. So this candle is at a high of 103.572. This candle is at a high of 103.598. So barely swept it, and then immediately rejected it. So back up to that yearly, broke through the Monday high. So this is a good day for a pullback, and it could be a good 2 days of a pullback for the dollar. And you get that end of week kind of rally ish from the markets, where we might get back up into this Monday range. But overall, on the hourly, the only concern I've got is just the fact that, yes, we dipped down into it and we just started popping back up, but this is taking a long time. It got here pretty quickly, and now we're just kind of slowly moving back up, building up liquidity down in here. So if we do have a dip into it, I want to see a full on rejection if we're going to turn bullish for the next day or two. Because if we don't, if we just keep grinding up like this, then I just feel like this is going to be a pretty good drop. So, because this could just be the same as this right here, except just in that direction, right? I mean, it's just consolidation is all it is. So if we get like a little pop before we come and get this, then I believe it's going to be kind of like a false breakout like that, and we'll come back down pretty quickly. Or if we continue to grind, we're going to hit a level in this area where it's built up enough liquidity to then make the drop, or we're going to hit that, we're going to dip and then pop tomorrow. I like this scenario. He's like you pointed out yesterday, Fred. This is a week that's setting up for a good Friday TGIF from the ICT, where every day's been bearish. Yeah, every day's been bearish, and then we get that pop. So if we do grind and continue to grind through news, continue to grind through the opening, then we're going to get a drop. And then tomorrow, we get that nice push. Just wait for that entry tomorrow to take that decent little move. 20 to 30% retracement. Yeah, and we can look at the weekly on it. Actually, let's go to the daily. And we started what here? Let's just say that's the low. Balance. And it's not going to yield a whole lot. It doesn't look like. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's going to be pretty nice. I mean, this is right here is 60 points just back into the OTE. But that 20%, let me go into it and let's pull. That's not what I wanted. Yeah. There you go. These two guys. Am I in the right direction? Yeah, I'm in the right direction. Yeah. So that's the reason I said it's not going to yield a whole lot, especially at 20% right here. Yeah. So if we want a decent move up, then we need to go a little bit lower today. That way we can stretch these numbers out a little bit more. And this might be a 30 plus percent retracement week just because it's not that big of a move, right? Because we're just in this consolidation. So maybe this candle breaks down a little bit lower, and then tomorrow gives us, if it breaks down a little bit lower, let's just say it gives us somewhere right in here, then that would be a little bit more of a win. Yeah, 40 points. Pretty sure that would be a decent little day on the ES. Yeah. But I'm glad you mentioned that yesterday, Fred, because I don't think of every day being a down day, or us moving down a pretty good bit and thinking that Friday is the move up. Just, I mean, technically speaking, it looks as though we could probably do that. When you drop into a lower time frame, it looks as though we could possibly do that. Like, this is a pretty good move down. We're just kind of grinding here, building liquidity. So maybe it comes and gets more and then makes that push. And I mean, like I said, if we get here and then we start pushing up, there's your 30% mark on the fib. That's a pretty good move. And if you look to the left, you start seeing all that structure there that could be targeting just in that area. Just more confluence, more reasons to say, yeah, it's going to do that. 21 acting like resistance right now. Also, I'm sure VWAP is going to be in that area too if we continue to drop down. Well, it changes every day. No, BWAP is not going to be up here. The 50 would probably be up here, is what I guess is what I was thinking. All right. Uh, I think it's going to be my hard stop right there, guys. I went a little bit longer than I meant to. I'm surprised I'm not getting yelled at. Um, but yeah, I think that's going to be my idea for today. I do like the Euro USD as well. I kind of like the way it's setting up for longs, which is going to, obviously a bearish dollar day. So I think the Euro USD has a nice consolidation right here for a good move to continue higher. Take it easy, Fred. Appreciate you, man. I will probably not be around the markets at all today. So, but I'll holler at everybody and check in as much as I can. I'll have my tablet with me, so I'll check in as much as I can. But y'all have a good rest of the day, and we'll see if we get that rally tomorrow. Thanks, Chris. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all be good. Be safe. Thank you, Toshi. You have a good night.